Hey guys, this is Sherry Flack with all your celeb gossip facts. Make sure to subscribe and like at the button below and put your notifications on so you don't miss none of this hot poppin' tea. Now let's get into it. You guys asked? Let me tell you a story. Now, Sidney Poitier was in a scandal in the 80s and 90s, but it wasn't about him. It was about a man who played to be his son named David Hampton. And David Hampton would tell rich people that his name was David Poitier. He was so good at it that they even made a movie about him. A movie that Will Smith actually played him in the movie called 6 Degrees of Separation. This was a true movie about a man playing to be Sidney Poitier's son and having rich elite people give him money, resources, trips, and we got in exclusive clubs. Now he came up with this ruse when him and his friend decided to try to get into Studio 54 in New York, and they randomly picked Sidney Poitier and another family member. And they started to use this ruse to trick people around and get money out of them. So one person said a smooth-talking young man claiming to be the son of Sidney Poitier has pulled the cashmere over the eyes of the least dozen well-to-do families in Manhattan. They gave him clothes, money, and he even tricked the wife of Oscar Elliott, the dean of Columbia University Graduate School, Jerusalem. What he did, and he even tricked the guy from WNYT president and John Jay. He tricked many people, even the president of John Jay at that time. But the main story let's stick to is Inga Elliott. Now, he went to the Elliott's home on October 2nd. But before he did, he called them on the phone and he said, Mr. Elliott, that I was robbed and I had no place to stay. He said he was enrolled at Harvard, but he was friends with his daughter at Yale. So he added that his father would be flying in Mr. Sidney Poitier to see the show Dreamgirls. So Mr. Elliott didn't think nothing of it, told him to come on over and he could stay with him. So he stayed in his East Side home. And Mr. Elliott ended up giving him, at the time, $50, which was a lot back then, and giving him some clothes. Because this guy even said that they took his term paper and everything. He had this thing down, and he even had the T of describing Harvard. So he did his very research to make himself be this person. So even though Mr. Elliott felt some doubts was raised, he still let it go because, of course, this is Sidney Poitier's son. He doesn't want to say, "Ooh, I disrespected his son." So while at his house, he wakes up, he hears a noise. It's early in the morning and finds out David Hampton has another man in his home. So that was very strange to him, and he kicks him out and tells him to go, but he never calls police. This whole time, this guy is sitting there stealing and using, and these people started talking and communicating with each other and investigating and found out that this guy was lying and never called the cop because they didn't want to get embarrassed because they were affluent people. And with celebrities being affluent people, these people do not want to be looked at as fools. But they are very wasteful of money and throw money at each other and things like that. So this was basically the start of making this a crime of conning people, because it was never to this magnitude, because people pretend to be celebrities' children all the time, but no one actually conned people before during this time. So please, do not try this foolishness, okay? You'll be locked up for a long time. Basically, Elliott decides to call Sidney Poitier, and Sidney Poitier said he had no son, and he apologized for this ordeal. So they never even called the cops. There was a Lieutenant Edward Shea who was investigating David Hampton anyway, and this is how David Hampton gets caught. They were investigating him on some fraud charges for credit card fraud of $350. But they started to find out that he was conning Manhattanites around under investigation, but they finally caught him, and he had to pay restitution back for $4,490, and he had a sentence term of 18 months to 4 years. Now, it doesn't say he served the whole 4 years, and it doesn't say how many of the term he served, but his sentence was 18 months to 4 years. But this guy was a mastermind. He had people believe that he was Sidney Poitier's son, and he got all the perks of it. So I hope you like this story of David Hampton, not Sidney Poitier's son. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And also like and subscribe to the channel. And I hope your first week of the new year has been good as mine. And I will see you guys later. Bye.